Tea Time's back again. I'm super excited. We're always excited. Should be tea excited instead of tea curious. But welcome to today's tea practice, my friends. We're gonna wait for a couple people to shimmy into the chat today, but we are going to be doing a little bit of blind tasting on this lovely Saturday afternoon. It's been a little bit of a while since we've done something like this, so I'm really excited. Yeah. Today is August 22nd. Tomorrow I turn 27. Oh my god! What? That's crazy! But yeah, I hope that you guys have been having a lovely time this summer. It's been a couple weeks since we've been live, so it's kind of like, whoa, what are we doing here on Instagram? But it's okay. So we are going to get started on some blind tea tasting in just a little bit. Let me just warm up my teaware, get that all started up, and then we'll be on our way. If you're joining us after the live, pull up some tea, pull up a chair, and enjoy. All right, so our setup for our blind tasting today is going to be black tea, which you guys chose on the Tea Curious Discord. I asked folks, you know, should we do a white tea or black tea? We haven't done a lot of that lately. We haven't been tasting a lot of white tea, black tea lately because we've had the cold brew challenge, and then before that we were doing a lot of teaware study with Teaware Olympics. So I think it's been a little bit of time since we've had some black tea, white tea studies. So I think we'd like to get into that today in just a little bit. Hi Claire, how's it going? Thanks for wishing me good luck. Jeremy, welcome. Musubi Envelope, nice to see you. Joe from Fish Anywhere, nice to see you guys. As always, Stephen will be picking out the black teas for us. I think Stephen has written them on the Discord, so if you'd like to check out what those teas are on the Discord and, you know, spoil it for yourself, you can. But you can also play along with us as we're tasting these. I'm going to do my best to kind of explain what we're seeing in the cup, to talk about the flavor notes we're getting, so that if you would like to play along with us and guess what the tea is, you can. Some people have even gotten it right before. I think Jeremy's done a really good job of like sussing out what a tea is. A couple people have gotten some really good choices down during our blind tea tasting. So play along. I think it's more fun that way. Don't look at the spoiler tag. If you really want to, you can. But yeah, we're gonna get started. We have how many teas picked out today? We got 2. And then we got
We'll have a tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker, just in case I get, you know, I get 1 and Steven gets 1. So my goal here is to get more correct than Steven puts out that I don't get. So my goal here is to get 2 out of 2. If we go 1 and 1, we'll go to tiebreaker. But if we get 0 out of 2, then we lose. Or I lose. So I will be tasting these in just a little bit. So yeah, let us know what you guys are drinking today. We've had some incredible maple black tea today. It's a Camellia sinensis tea. That's Nilgiri black tea added with some maple sugar crystals. It's been amazing this morning, but I was like, man, I forgot we're doing a blind tasting this afternoon. So I've just been sugared up, but it's okay. So far that's been it. We've also had some jade leaves from Danong this morning as well. But we're going to get into this black tea tasting now. Where's the teas, Stephen? I have not seen these teas, so how this goes for those of you who haven't seen this before. I have not seen the teas yet. What we do this for is we're going to study how to identify a tea even if you don't know what it is. I think this is a really good practice because sometimes we get caught up in what the label is, or sometimes we'll get a tea that we don't understand. There's no label, there's no packaging. Someone just hands it off to us. Or if you have a friend who's like, yo, you know, I don't know, Joe or Jay or Claire, what is this tea? Something, you know, it was something someone gave to me. Can you identify it? We can practice kind of zoning in and honing in on what those teas are like this. Plus I think it's fun because then, let's say if I think something is an Assam, but it turns out to be a Yunnan black tea, you can kind of adjust your signs for what the actual tea is based on what you got wrong. And then if you got it right, it kind of hones your judgment of what the tea is, the identifying signs a little bit better once you test yourself out like that. So I think it's good to do these kinds of things. So we'll get started. Any questions, let us know. Apathy, it's nice to see you. Seasonal mitigation, welcome, welcome. Jason Rainwater, organic tea leaf. And then Joe, have fun with your buddy. Hopefully by the time we watch this, I've won, but we'll see. So first tea, we got 3 teas. 2 for us to just go through, 1 tiebreaker in case we go half and half. This tea, I have no idea what this is. This looks like, okay, so our steps. First thing, you look at the tea, right? If you can make a judgment just on the dry tea leaves, just to get yourself started, do so. Because the more you can get data from as little input as possible, the more of a chance you'll be able to improve your judgment as you get more data from the tea. So for example, if you have an opinion on what the leaves look like, it's not a really, I wouldn't say rely on sight to identify what a tea is. The flavor is most important. But if you can still get a good guess just from the dry leaves, I think it will put you ahead. And you can always kind of edit your guess as you actually go and taste the tea. So this to me looks like a Ruby 18 on just initial glance. It looks like a Ruby 18. The leaves are really long and wiry. It doesn't look like a Chinese black tea. If it is a Chinese black tea, it's a relatively low-end tea. You guys can see it's kind of like wiry, and it's got really big leaves. It's also got a bit of bud going on. That's kind of weird. See? So, oh my god, I split it! Oh my god! I cracked off the bud. But here's the bud.
Oh, it's going to be super bitter now.
Yeah, it's going to be super bitter now because I broke it a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. So really long leaves. Yeah, it looks a little bit rustic. There's some stems in there too. So this doesn't look like a super high quality Chinese tea. It doesn't look like most Indian teas either. But if it is an Indian tea, it's a non-typical Indian tea. Like it's not like your classic Assam or classic Nilgiri. It's from someone who's doing a little bit of experimentation, because most, Indian teas don't really look like this, right? Jeremy, I agree with you. Some Phoenix black tea looks like this, but I am biased because while this is a blind tasting, it has to be something we bought in the past. And I think I remember most things we bought. I don't think we have a Phoenix black tea, but I'll keep that in mind. Jeremy's really good at guessing these, so let me know what else you think this might be. Yeah, some kind of experimental, non-typical black tea. But my first guess is Ruby 18, just from the site. Then let's smell it. Steven gave me these little dinky plastic cups that we actually don't, we use this to use for water formulas. But I want to smell it in a ceramic cup because I find that plastic doesn't do well for reflecting the aroma back, especially if it's a warm cup. Oh my god, it's chocolatey. It's not what I expected. Yeah, wow, that is very chocolatey. It does smell very roasty, organic tea leaf. Yeah, what could this be? Something roasty. Roasted black tea. Wow, it's really roasty. Yo, Steven's asking to smell it. I don't want to
smell it.
You're not playing though, Steven. Actually, you are playing. It's okay. Hi Shiloh, it's nice to see you. Dentiteria Bar. And Ruben, welcome, welcome. Yeah, let us know what you guys are drinking as we get into this. The setup now, as we're going to start getting into the tea. If you're doing a blind tasting of any sort, make sure that you have kind of a control setup. A set of teaware that you always use for blind tasting tea, because the more that you can kind of get used to a certain result from a set of teaware, the more that you'll have control and confidence in pulling out the flavors from that tea. What I mean is, for example, if you're using a Yixing pot versus a Jingdezhen ceramic gaiwan versus a glass pot, and you kind of switch between those 3 things the first time you try a tea, you're not going to know if it's the clay that's making it different, or the glass, or the ceramic. So try to have a go-to whenever you have tea for the first time, or you don't know what the tea is. Use a standard set, just so you know what the result is kind of going to look like. So if your pot usually makes things taste bitter, but the tea is naturally very sweet in the pot, it's probably a really, really sweet tea, you know? For me, that's either a ceramic Jindajan Gaiwan, but even better, I think, bowl brewing. Because even when you're using a Gaiwan, you know really, really well, you can kind of like, the way that you pour in, the way you pour out, maybe the time you take to steep it might change a little bit. Bowl brewing takes out the kind of brewing element out of the equation. So that's just you and the tea leaves. And give you a better look of these again. Musubi envelope says leaves are quite large, so it should be summer or autumn. I kind of dig that observation. They're a little bit more coarse, so they're not like a super high grade early spring pick, you know, super fancy black tea. But sometimes, you know, appearances can be deceiving. So I thought it was a Ruby 18 upon just initial look. It was not. I don't think it is because it's very roasty once you smell it. And now we're getting into the brew. The color is changing very quickly, which to me is a sign of a pretty good tea. Good tea usually has oils on the surface of the leaf that kind of infuse out very, very quickly once you put them in water. So to me, it's a pretty good sign. Liquor is looking really, really clear. Yeah. And we do this kind of bowl and spoon method because, you know, I've just learned from being on the tea farms that usually when a tea maker finishes a tea, or if they're in the process of making a tea, they actually won't bust out a gaiwan to brew the tea. They'll bust out this kind of bowl and spoon setup for the same reasons. You know, they don't want to add like the brewing component in there. It's just that once you've done this bowl and spoon setup 100 times, you'll kind of get to know what you should expect from a tea using the same setup. Really nice. Yeah, I like the color of this. So I think it's a pretty good tea. It smells really, really good. A little bit of, you know, big leaves. You can kind of see this one here. I'm not sure you guys can see, but this is like an older leaf that I was able to fish out. So a little bit variable on the leaf pick. So I don't think this is like a competition style black tea. Usually competition style stuff is going to be more even, smaller, just a little bit more consistent. And then color of the leaves, Musubi envelope. They're kind of like, you know, they got a little bit of green on them, interestingly, a little bit of red, a little bit of black. So they're not the most consistent looking leaves in color, but they're consistently inconsistent, meaning there's about an equal amount of green, black, and red, which, you know, usually you want leaves that are very consistently colored. But if the inconsistency is consistent, that is, oh, it's black, red, and green, but it's about equal amounts of each. That can also be good. It just means the processing that they did brought out about equal amounts of, you know, oxidation and non-oxidation on the leaves. It can still look pretty balanced there. Yeah. All right. Really citrusy. Citrusy, fruity, sweet, honey, chocolatey. Wow, that's really good. Now I'm like coming back to it being a Taiwanese tea. It's got that classic fruity, friendly kind of flavor that I kind of associate with Taiwanese black teas and Taiwanese teas in general.
That smells good.
Yeah. So I'm just smelling the liquor. There's a really strong smell from the liquor, which is not typical from tea. If you've noticed, the smell of the empty cup is often stronger than the smell of the liquor itself, which is why we use a spoon to kind of emulate the appearance or the setup of like an empty cup. Because now that we've put some liquor in, then tossed it out, this is almost like your empty cup right here. Oh my god, that's really tasty. Wow. Whatever this tea is extremely aromatic. I'm zoning back into Taiwanese tea. Maybe like a Mixiang black tea from Hualien. Bug bitten. I'm getting that honey thing going on. It's very, very bright. So I'm not sure who said it. Was it Musubi envelope or organic tea who said that it might be a roasted tea? I think there is a roast on the tea, or like a baking that was done to the tea to make it sweeter, but it doesn't smell super roasty like some black teas can be. It's very sweet, very fruity. Grape notes. We're just on the scent, by the way. We haven't tasted the tea yet. Grape notes. A little tiny bit. Yeah. Sweet grape. Kind of like that muscatel. A little bit. But a little bit sweeter, a little bit warmer than what you'd see in a Darjeeling. So for those of you coming in, we're just about to taste this blind tasting black tea that Stephen has picked out for me. We're going to try to see if I can identify together with you guys what this tea is. So far, it's fruity, honey, lots of fragrance. The leaves are really big and wiry. You can kind of see them. They're not like little tiny Jinjin Maid leaves. They're not cut up Assam leaves either. Yeah, my guess right now is that it's a Taiwanese black tea of some sort. Or like a Guangdong black tea, some of the Chinese black teas that are not super famous, like from Guangdong. Some of the, like, for example, black dansong, that's not as common. They tend to look a little bit like this. A little bit more rustic looking, not so perfect. So those are my guesses so far. I don't think it's Indian, I don't think it's Nepalese. The only Indian teas I see that look like this are sometimes Nilgiri teas. Sometimes some of the Assams look like this a little bit, but it's way too soft to be Assam, and I don't get the classic Nilgiri taste. Yeah, from these. I think it's China or Taiwan. Just guessing. Yeah. Tea Junkie, welcome to today's tea practice. Copy Hugh, Tea, Canister, Pelins Malku, Mr. Lochan, nice to see you. Mel from Akasaka Yuki, nice to see you. Gold 2 Ash, and Myelena Earl, welcome. Yeah, let's taste this. So, we got lots of data just from looking, from smelling, from handling. I wish I touched the leaves, I forgot about that. The more that you can just handle and play around with the leaves, the more you'll get almost a subconscious familiarity with what certain teas feel like. I welcome you to do it, especially with, for example, like high quality tea versus low quality tea. The way that they feel on the hands is just a little bit different. Good quality tea will tend to be a little bit heavier than it looks. And then lower quality tea, when you hold it, you're like, wow, it weighs nothing, because there's less kind of essence trapped inside the leaves. This one looks like it's got a lot of essence in it. It's been steaming for a little bit. Let's try this out now. Nice kind of orange golden color. I think this will taste really good. Just from the color of the liquor, it's bright, it's got some life, it's got, you know, it's very translucent. Like you can see right through, it's very clear. So I think it's a good tea. Let's try it out. Woo! Is that Mixiang? That tastes like Taiwan. That tastes just like Taiwan. Wow. Honey, fruity, sweet. Really, really nice. A little bit of chocolate. Yeah. My first guess is that this is probably a Mixiang black tea from Hualien. Taiwanese black tea from the east coast of Taiwan that's bug bitten. It just has this classic honey fragrance. Mixiang literally means honey fragrance, and it's just got so much aroma here. Musubi Envelope, you said it's like Oriental Beauty kind of. Yes, there's a lot of this Oriental Beauty-esque flavor to this that reminds me of Mixiang black tea from Taiwan. That's Mixiang, honey fragrance, Mixiang black tea. This is actually a tea that we wrote about on 80 Degrees lately. On issue number 4, we talked about Hualien and their classic Mixiang black tea. And I said that this was unmistakable. So if this is not Mixiang, there's a problem. Don't tell Martin from 80 Degrees. Don't tell Martin, you know? So what happens is, just like Oriental Beauty, the little leaf hoppers bite the leaves and cause this kind of honey fragrance to come out. It's not just a taste, it's an aroma and also a feeling on the palate that's pretty unmistakable. This has got to be Mixiang, right? Like, you're tripping, Steven. You're tripping me. Sometimes I wig myself out because I think Steven's playing mind games, but I need to remember, Steven is actually much more straightforward than I am. I'll play tricks on people when we're doing blind tastings like these, but Steven's pretty, yeah, he doesn't play around too much. Mixiang black tea. Someone mentioned Dansong black tea. I haven't had many of those, but from what I can recall of those, they're not as tasty and confident as this kind of tea. What I mean is Dansong Oolong producers will be super confident when they make Dansong Oolong, right? But as masterful as they are in making Dansong, they're not as well versed in making black tea. So when they make black tea, I feel it's just a little bit more rough around the edges. You know, and just imagine like a master French chef making Japanese food. Like, he's probably going to make better Japanese food than I do, but did he study it? Does he cook it every day? Is that his thing? You can kind of tell it's not really his thing. You know, like it's excellent, but it's not that little bit more excellent. This one tastes like a tea that this person's been making for like a while. They just know the tea. Especially since it's not as even, the fact that it's less even but it's so super tasty tells me that this is just the characteristic of the tea. It's a classic tea for them. And Mixiang black tea, if it is Mixiang black tea, is, you know, that's all they make in Hualien. It's a signature tea. I mean, they make other things too, but that's like Hualien is Mixiang tea. Yeah, I almost just wanna call it.
You gonna lock in?
I don't know. Now I'm nervous because this tea is actually a lot better tasting than I remember it being. It's just super bright, super delicious. It's super good. It's just really, really good. Steven, aren't you giving me an easy tea because it's my birthday? Pugs and Pigs, welcome. Jean Beaumatar, welcome. Antonio Caruso, Eco de Trave, Witalti, Germany, welcome. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday wherever you are. I'm about to call it on this blind tasting session with this first black tea. I think it's a Mixiang from Taiwan. It's just so honey-like. It's just so delicious, so fruity. It's just super good. What's wigging me out is that it's really tasty today. Usually it's very good, but it's very tasty. What is this? Why is it so good? Oh my god, is it Alishan High Mountain? I guess it could be. So there's this batch of black tea from Alishan that my teacher made last year. Oh my god, it might be Alishan High Mountain. It's so honey-like though. I don't know, I don't think the Alishan High Mountain is as good. It doesn't taste very wet. So that Alishan High Mountain black tea that I'm talking about is an unusual batch that my teacher made last year on Alishan because it's so rainy, and it's a really good tea, but I don't think it's this good. This tea is, I think, better than the Alishan black for the same reasons that, you know, I don't know, man, it's wigging me out.
How's the aftertaste?
The aftertaste is amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't like it?
It's
Yo, don't give me, you're giving me signs though.
it's just my reaction to the tea.
Okay.
I'm not telling you what it is.
What is it? Is Steven helping me guess? How is it?
Should I not say anything?
I don't think you should say anything.
Okay.
I really like the aftertaste. Oh my god, could this be Alishan black tea? It just... Wow, it could be. It really could be. I think it's Taiwan though. I think this shit is Taiwan. The only other thing I can think of that this could be that's not Taiwan is that Guangdong black tea. Oh my god. So I got 3 choices. Alishan High Mountain Black, Guangdong black tea from New Century, which is from his hometown, which also fits into the whole, Dafei from New Century Tea Galleries from this area in Guangdong. I think they call it Xinhong. I don't remember, but they make a black tea in his hometown that's extremely delicious and super confident. I think this might be it as well. It's another option, and then it might be Mixiang black tea. But the Mixiang black tea that we have is not as good as this. So I don't know if it's just coming out really well today, you know? So this is why, this kind of doubt is why we have to stick to the same teaware over and over again. Because can you imagine if I used the gaiwan, like, oh, maybe I just steeped it really well today, or you used a teapot, you're like, oh, maybe the teapot really fits the tea, or you use a different water, oh, maybe our water is really good today. There's so many different factors, so now at least it's just you and the tea facing off. Oh my goodness gracious, what do I do, Steven? So let me think. What could this be? What is this? God, the aftertaste is so good.
Which one from Hualien are you guessing? Because they have multiple teas. They have multiple Mixians even. So
the one in the red box, 'cause that's the one we have a lot of. And the competition doesn't look like this. So he's asking me which Mixiang from Hualien, because we do have a couple different grades from Hualien. I'm talking about the big wiry one. Oh my god, could this be Alishan? Wow. I feel stuck now. Could this be Alishan? The leaves? The Alishan? So let's play. So we got 3 guesses, and I think they're very, very similar. The Guangdong black tea, the Alishan High Mountain, and the Mixiang black tea. Now, why I'm not sure if it's the Mixiang is that the Mixiang black tea that I'm referring to, that we have, doesn't have a huge honey fragrance. We have one that's a little bit more, but it doesn't look like this. So I think this tea is better than that. Just a little bit too good for that tea. The Guangdong black tea, I don't know as well. We did a couple experiments with it, but that's the extent of me studying that tea. And the Alishan black, also, I don't know that tea that well because I honestly don't drink it very much. It's not my favorite high mountain tea because, just being honest, it was a tea that was, made as an emergency measure because it was so rainy that year. It's very good, but it's not like my favorite from Alishan. Steven's giving me some faces. What do you guys think it is? I don't know. Steven's tapping his wrist like this because he wants me to guess. Yeah, you guys help me. What do you think this is? Has anyone had any of those teas? What can I do? So the Alishan does have a bigger aftertaste than this. This doesn't feel like a high mountain tea, but I have said that about the Alishan before. So you can use your previous fails to try to work through it again. I don't think it's Guangdong. I think I'm just gonna say it's Taiwan. It has a very Taiwanese taste. Okay, so is it Mixiang black tea from Hualien, or is it Alishan high mountain tea from Alishan? Oh my god, I don't know. I'm going to say that I don't know. So the Mixiang black tea, from Hualien is made using those larger leaves. So I don't know, maybe I should say it's larger leaf. Let's look at the leaves. So this is my last resort here. I'm gonna look at the leaf pick, and the leaf pick does not look like it's high mountain tea. But I don't know if they just picked it weird that year, because again it was a weird harvest. Yeah, let's look at the leaves. Sorry, Steven, I know you want me to move on to the next thing, but I'm gonna have to look at these babies a little bit closer. So get like a little white saucer. And then we're gonna pull these out. I know, I'm like struggling. Gosh, it's been so long since I did blind tasting practice. This is what happens when you don't practice. And yes, it is my birthday tomorrow. So I'm turning 27. I can't believe I'm turning 27. Oh my god. I was 19. I was 19 when I first started getting into the tea industry. And then in high school, when I was like 15, I was already bringing Earl Grey canisters to school. I was so extra. I would put Earl Grey in my thermos and bring it to school with like a cup. Like a china cup, like a porcelain cup with a saucer. It was so extra. But I would bring loose leaf Earl Grey to school when I was in high school. Such a nerd. It's a good thing I played tennis, so I wouldn't be like too nerdy. Yeah. So yeah, it is actually. And then Leo, it is not duck shit oolong. It's a black tea. At least we know it's a black tea. So Let's look at the leaf material. It doesn't look like it's High Mountain stuff, but the High Mountain, yeah. See, look at these. This is not like a High Mountain pick, right? I wish some weirdo picks here. Yeah, what the hell? Okay, so the pick is weird, which does happen in Alishan sometimes. Lots of stems. You know what? I'm feeling more like this is Alishan High Mountain because of how weird the pick is. Because sometimes in Alishan, when they do make black tea like this, they will pick a little bit weird. It's just a little bit too weird though. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Stemmy. This is when I wish I studied those teas a little bit. But look how many stems there are. There are so many stems here. They're very, very small stems though. Could that mean that that's Alishan? They're so tiny. Stems. Look how many stems. Can I call a friend? Can someone help me on this? Guangdong black tea, Mixiang black tea, or Alishan High Mountain? I can't tell. Yo, Leo, you know that. You know the Alishan black tea more than I do, because I think you handle it more than I do. Does this look like Alishan black tea to you? Oh my gosh. There's so many stems. I don't think that's Hualien. Hualien doesn't do that much. Do they? I don't think they do. So now I think it's High Mountain, Alishan, or Guangdong. Which, yes, there's a honey fragrance there, but it's not as strong as like the super, super high quality Mixiangs. And yeah. Okay. Let's see. Steven, what do I do? I'm gonna lose this. I don't feel confident at all.
I'm gonna run out the clock.
I know, I'm gonna run out the clock. I'm gonna say... Gosh. Could it be the Guangdong black tea? Now that I'm thinking... What does Guangdong do to their teas? I don't remember the Alishan being the stemmy. Steven, you're killing me. You're killing all of us. So Leo says, no way too big. Yeah, I think it's just way too stemmy. God. One last... Okay, so we're gonna close our eyes. We're gonna be okay with being wrong. We're just gonna drink this tea one more time and then I'm gonna guess. I promise. Stem. It tastes like Taiwan. But I want to say Guangdong. But it tastes like Taiwan. Oh my god. So if you see me being called a Taiwanese tea guru, don't believe those people. I'm not a guru of any kind. It's not, I don't think it's Mixiang black tea. No, yeah, it's not. It's not. I was about to say it's Alishan. He says he sees it all the time. Mel too, huh? So I got my Vegas crew who knows Alishan really well. He sees the Alishan all the time. The leaves are too small, he says. It tastes like Taiwan though, so then why could it be Guangdong? My number one guess right now is Guangdong. And Mixiang. But I don't think it's Mixiang though. Oh my god, Steven's face! You should see Steven's face. Okay. Should I doubt myself? Okay, I'm gonna say it's Guangdong black tea from New Century Gallery from my friend Dafe. It's a black tea from his hometown. That's my guess.
Ready?
No, I'm not ready. Oh shit! Oh my god! I knew it was Taiwan. God, this is why you shouldn't doubt yourself. Fuck. Screw you, Steven. So, it was Taiwan. This is from Dongding, right?
It's Dongding black tea.
Fuck! Oh my god! I should have trusted myself. This is Dongding black tea. I've only had it one time, which is why I didn't recognize it. It's very good.
The last time we had that was
the last time we had it was when we were in Taiwan last November. And this is why I didn't recognize it, because I haven't had this tea since. We bought this tea as an educational tea, just like for like a special tasting, so I haven't opened it since. We haven't had this tea since. No wonder it was like so confusing. So this is a Dongding black tea. I think from the same springtime as the Alishan, where like a lot of rain was happening in Taiwan, so they made a black tea. I don't remember if it's spring or winter, but it was from 2019. So it's a Dongding area black tea. So, man, no wonder I didn't know this tea very well. But I should have trusted myself because now I got the country wrong. That's why you should trust yourself. Don't doubt yourself.
I don't think it's bug bitten.
It's not. It's very honey-like, whatever it is. The baking, I think, is very good on it, which makes sense because this producer is a roaster. They roast tea, so that's why the roasty taste is there, and the skill on the roasting is very, very good because of that. I should have known because Dongding sometimes has this stemmy thing going on. I just wasn't thinking about this tea. I didn't even get the country right. God, don't doubt yourself, okay? So I just wanted to show. I knew I was gonna doubt myself. I thought I was being really smart, being, oh, it's Guangdong actually. Let's not trust myself. Your gut feeling is the most important. So I got it wrong. I knew it was Taiwan. I just knew it, but my mouth said something else. So now we're behind, and also I'm 0-1. Next tea. Let me show you this tea here a little bit more. Again, this is a tea I've only had once before. It's a Dongding black tea, very unusual. That's why we picked it up. But honestly, we picked it up because we just wanted to buy something from them.
We spent a lot of time there.
We spent a lot of time there, and we just bought this tea because we want to like support them. Yeah. It wasn't my favorite tea in the world, but it was my favorite from that tasting that we did with those guys. So, I mean, I'm not super mad at myself because it's a tea that I've only had once, but no wonder it had like this kind of like, it's kind of Alishan-y, which is high elevation, and it's kind of Hualien-like, which is low elevation, because Dongding is in the middle. And then that baking, that honey-like taste comes from the fact that the person who made this tea is a Dongding producer, and Dongding is really, really good at roasting stuff. They're like a really good roaster. So, man, that sucks. I suck. No, we shouldn't say I suck. It's learning. So I'm 0-1. God damn it, Steven. All right. Team Steven 1, Team Ray 0. Let's go on to the next tea. Don't doubt yourselves. God damn it. I thought I was being smart. Can I see the Guangdong black tea that I talked about? I want to see how someone's leaves are.
No.
Is it the third tea you're going to do? Oh, I knew it. Yeah, you had to pick a different tea now, Steven. No. So this is the, okay, Inda Home. There we go. This is from New Century Gallery. New Century Tea Gallery in... Oh my god, look how similar the fucking leaves are. They're so similar. That's why.
It's a little more golden tippy though.
It is, but still. So this is what the Inmehong looks like from China. I just want to show. This is what it looks like, and then this is what the Dongding looks like. Oh, no. Let's put this back in. So it's also very like big and wiry, and then the Dongding is also very big and wiry looking. So it is a little bit more tippy for sure, but yeah, so stemmy. Steven, you picked the tea I didn't know at all. That's what practice is for, right?
I've had it before.
Once, without our water. No wonder, because I was like, it tastes so much better than I'm used to it being. Because our water does make teas taste really, really good. So for those of you who are hanging out with us, we're on tea number 2 of blind tasting practice we're doing today. We asked the Discord server, to choose between a white or a black tea for our blind tasting today. We picked black tea. And for those of you who are on the Discord, you can go and see what the teas are underneath the spoiler tag. So you must have been laughing at me the entire time. Being like, no, Reed, don't say Guangdong, it's Taiwan, trust yourself. Oh my goodness gracious. I think intuition is always better than mind in tea. But the problem is I'm a very thinky person, which is why I get these wrong so much. Because sometimes you'll know, right? Like tea tells us all the time that intuition rules over thinking 90% of the time in tea. I would say, right, Steven? Like, I mean, you need both mind and intuition to brew tea well, but I'm just finding that tea is very, like, you gotta trust yourself. The moment you slip, You're wrong. Man. So my mind was right, but my confidence was not. That sucks. Like, I knew it's Taiwan. But my mouth said something different. Okay, next one. Welcome, Emma's Teapot. I enjoyed your guys' session with Shael yesterday. That was really, really lovely. Cake with the Cat and Sonia for our pair. Nice to see you guys. Cha Chai Tea. Welcome, welcome. Lawrence H. Yeah. Sorry, I'm like just wigging out. I know that you guys are like, just say what it is. But alright. Next one. What is this? The fuck is this? I don't know what this is, yo. So my first guess, so going through our methods again, try to get some kind of data from just the dry leaves so that when you are actually drinking, you already have some data to go with, right? Don't wait until you taste the tea to try to make a judgment. Never just rely on the leaf appearance, but you know, if you can pull something from the leaf appearance, do so. You can always revise it later. This first glance looks really, really weird. I think this is a Yunnan black tea. It's got the kind of gold fuzzy thing going on. The leaves are massive. Look how big these leaves are. My God. Really, really big. And it's got that kind of like Yunnan black tea and Yunnan white tea thing where half of it is gold and half of it is black. So my first thought is that this is a Yunnan black tea because of the size and also the color, that kind of like fuzzy golden color. For those of you who had Dan Hong, the tips are quite furry and they run gold. So whenever I see gold in a like black tea, my first thought is Yunnan area, you know, Southeast Asia area as well. But I don't have any Laos black teas that I know of. I don't have any Vietnam black teas like this. So I think it's Dan Hong. What does it smell like? This next thing is the smell of the leaves. They don't smell like anything, which I think is very Dan Hong like also. Dan Hong to me doesn't have a very strong leaf smell at first compared to like a Taiwanese or like a roasted tea. Just a little bit, but what I do smell smells very Yunnan. So thinking about that. So when you're making this first guess, don't marry it. Just make a guess and be open to kind of changing your opinion. Remember earlier, I thought it was a Ruby 18 based on sight. Should have told me it's fucking Taiwan. I got the country from the very beginning at the very last second. Anyway. Alright, and then we're going to put the leaves in like this warm bowl. Using again a bowl that we're used to using. It smells like Dan Hong. It smells very Yunnan. It smells like oily and sharp and, you know, I get like this olive oil thing from Yunnan teas that, you know, it doesn't have to be olive oil to you, but whatever you can attach to your own impression of a tea, make that connection in your mind so that when you taste it again, you're like, hey, I know that Yunnan teas usually taste like olive oil. When you smell a tea that's unknown, you're like, ooh, olive oil, you'll immediately know that it's probably that tea. Just make connections like that to make it easier. Then we're gonna brew this up. It's very fuzzy. Ooh. Brewing up very, very quickly as well. So see how quickly the color changed in this tea? To me, that's a sign of a really good tea. Good tea will color the liquor of the water very quickly because again of those oils on the surface. Pretty. Nice. Even the liquor color looks like Yunnan. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this before, but Yunnan black tea will have this kind of like green colored ring on the surface over here. I'm not sure if it's very visible, but yeah, just, you know, over time you'll be like, wow, Assam tends to have that really deep red thing, and Yunnan has a kind of green ring, and to me this looks very Yunnan. It's a little bit oily too, it's a little bouncy. Which reads Yunnan to me. The smell is not as strong as the Taiwanese, which is also very Yunnan Dan Hong to me. These teas don't tend to be super aromatic. They don't have that kind of perfumey like boom. what we're gonna get from this is probably gonna be in the taste and the texture. So let's make a hypothesis. If this is Yunnan, it must be very thick and kind of like silky, velvety on the palate. It shouldn't be overly fruity. It should have a little bit of but Yunnan a little bit of bite. And then I would say that the aftertaste is going to be a little bit floral, a little bit herbaceous. If those are true, it's probably a Yunnan tea. Color is a little bit lighter than the Taiwanese tea, which I think is consistent with Yunnan because Yunnan's a little bit drier. Oxidation is going to be a little bit lighter. Yeah. No baking taste. I don't think that Dianhong tends to be baked very much, like in an oven. I'm not sure about that, but it doesn't have that really rich, kind of sweet, caramelized thing that the Taiwanese and Chinese black teas have. Tea Fiend, I agree. Dianhongs have that malty taste. It's a different kind of malt from Assam, but still, it's still very consistent with the Assam taste, I'd say. So welcome to Tea Practice today. Celia, I saw you as well. Welcome. Bienvenue. All right, so let's try it. It smells super Yunnanese. Shiloh, Yunnan has a smell. Can I confirm? Really? What the hell is that? What is that? That's not what I expected from that tea. It tastes like apple juice. Oh my god. It also hits you really hard. It feels like Yunnan. Jeez. It doesn't taste like Yunnan though. Okay, now it tastes like Yunnan. Oh my god. What the heck? Wow. That tea felt like it gave me a chest bump in the chest. Like, yo! Wow. Whew. So it feels like Yunnan, it tastes like Yunnan. Yeah, I think it's like a middle of the road Yunnan tea. I don't think it's a super high quality one. Like, I think it's a good tea, but it's not like this. We have some like top tier Yunnan teas. I don't think that this is one of them. I think it's a relatively good tea, but oof, very strong. What the hell is this? Yeah, I think it's Yunnan Dianhong. Yeah. Emma's teapot. I'm curious about your brewing style here. Yeah, Emma, this is tea soup. This is why I have a soup spoon. Yeah, this is how I've learned to evaluate teas, because if you brew an unknown tea in the Gaiwan, you might change the way you pour the tea leaves, water on tea leaves. You might change the way you pour out. It might change, the temperature that you put into the teapot, the amount of time it's in a teapot. It's going to change up the tea. So then once you're tasting, you're like, oh, I think that this is, for example, I think this is a Silver Needle, but usually it's a little bit lighter than this. Maybe I brewed it a little bit different this time, so I don't know. By making this kind of really simple, minimalist tea and water in a bowl that I've used so many times before, you're not going to blame yourself for the differences in the teas. Just like I'm not sure if you were here, Emma, during the first round, but that tea that I brewed up, I was like, oh no, it's a little bit tastier than the mixiang that I am used to. It's not like the Alishan. What is that? It's so easy to blame yourself for how the tea is coming out. So the less that you can doubt yourself in terms of brewing, the more you can doubt yourself in terms of tasting. And this is how a lot of the tea makers will evaluate teas for the first time. In China, Taiwan, I think Japan does this too. I haven't seen a tea tasting on the farm in Japan. Also in South Asia, Nepal, India, they'll do this as well. And this is similar to like the cupping style where you have that, competition cup where you'll pour in. But I really hate cupping sets. I really hate them. I really hate cupping sets. There's still a factor of like how long you put in the cupping set. When you pour it out well, and it falls all over the place. So this is just stripping everything out. All it is just a bowl, the tea leaves and water. And then the spoon is the same material, more or less, as the ceramic bowl. So instead of it being glass and then you put ceramic in it, which changes up the flavor profile, because the more that you change materials, the more it impacts the tea. It just keeps everything consistent. And then you can smell That smells very Yunnan. It's like there, but not quite, but there. Yeah. Ooh, oh my god, this has got to be a Yunnan tea. I don't know which one though. Do I have to identify the vendor? I don't think so.
No.
Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is a Yunnan Dian Hong of some sort. Let me see if I can guess where in Yunnan. That's really funny. I'm just gonna say Yunnan Dian Hong. That's my guess, but I'm gonna guess that this is from Jingu. The reason why is that the leaves remind me a little bit of the appearance of Moonlight White from Jingu. Does Jingu make Moonlight White? I think they do. Yeah. They're really famous for white tea over there. So I'm gonna guess it's Jingu. Jingu black tea. Just to get a little fancier, but the guess is Yunnan black tea. Jeremy says, if it's not cupping, can we call it bowling? Yeah, we can call it bowling. It's different from bowl brewing, which is this. This is bowl brewing. Right? This is bowling. Whew, okay, so I think it's a Jingu. Oh my god, my heart is racing. I think it's a Jingu Yunnan black tea. If I get this wrong, we're not going to tiebreaker. I just lose 0-2. Steven's face! I don't think I got it right, you guys.
You want me to tell you? Are you locking in?
Are we locking in, you guys? I think... Okay, what else could it be? It's not a Nepalese tea. It's not a Nepalese tea. I don't think it's a Indian tea. It's too soft to be Indian. I don't think it's another like area of China. I don't think it's Taiwanese. It's not Japanese. It's not Indonesian. Is it the German tea that Jeffrey from Lazy Literatus gave me? I don't think so. I don't think German tea would taste like this. Do I have a Thai tea? I don't have a Thai tea. I don't have any Laos black tea. This is the other areas near Yunnan it might be. I don't have a Vietnamese tea. I think it's Yunnan. Yeah. I don't like this way Steven's face looks. It doesn't look right. Did I get it wrong, Steven? It can't be Taiwan. There's just no way. If this is Taiwan, I'm gonna eat those tea leaves. Like, grind them up and eat them.
Are you locked in? Want me to tell you?
Yeah, let's... It looks like... I mean, look at it. Even like the way it's like getting really malty and like that dark kind of thing. I think that's totally Dian Hong. Like, a lot of the like mid-grade Dian Hongs will get this way. It's a little bit cloudy too. So I think it's mid-grade... mid-grade Yunnan black tea. If it's specific, it's from Jingu.
It's not Yunnan.
Oh my god, it's not Yunnan! What is it?
It's next door. Guangxi.
I didn't get it right. So it's Guangxi instead of Yunnan. So this is Jinhao Golden Tip black tea from Guangxi. I have not had a lot of Guangxi teas. Is Guangxi near Yunnan?
It's next door.
Has anyone had any Guangxi teas? I have not had this tea. I've had this tea maybe once. Did you even open this packet for me?
No.
Was it open?
It was open.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah.
Guangxi?
Has anyone been to Guangxi? Guangxi is where they make like...
This is Yunnan.
Oh my god. Steven's like lifting up the laptop to make myself feel better.
They're touching.
You really made this difficult for me, Steven. Oh my goodness gracious. I should have, instead of going Laos, Myanmar, what is it? Wow, Steven really threw me a curveball on that one. So, yeah, it's Guangxi. I don't know.
Did you get that from Xiamen?
What's that?
Did you get that from Xiamen?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's Guangxi. Black tea. Man, I'm 0-2 with Steven on my birthday weekend.
Do you want your tiebreaker?
I don't want my tiebreaker. Go away. What is that, though? Is that Junshibari?
You got it.
I got it. The tiebreaker, which doesn't count, but this is Junshibari. This was the tiebreaker that we would have tasted if I got 1-1. But, yeah. You gave me an easy one for the tiebreaker. I know this tea really well because we've tasted a lot. This is Junshibari from Camellia sinensis. You can tell because of the tippy, kind of like red and black thing going on. At least I could identify it by sight. Stephen Michael White, giving me some curveballs. These are both teas I've had maybe one time before. Guangxi black tea is not very typical to find on the market. Has anyone had a Guangxi black tea? I've had it once, maybe, and I apparently didn't remember it because I think it's just okay. It's not the best. So this Jinhao Golden Tip black tea, which is just a sample that I got a long time ago that I forgot about. I don't know if Guangxi has a similar terroir to Yunnan. It is next to Yunnan, but environments can change a lot. Just the next province over or the next town over. Guangxi is Guangxi. Guangxi, not Guangxi. Guangxi. So I don't know if it's similar in environment to Yunnan. I know it is nearby, but I mean, Dongding is close to Shanlinxi. Yeah. So, you know, just because something is nearby doesn't mean it's going to look the same. But at least it's in the same general area. And that explains a lot about the weird kind of like processing style. I don't know if it is high elevation tea. I think it is a higher elevation. It's not like a low elevation tea because we identified that the leaves are a little bit greenish, which tells me that it's a little bit higher elevation. Higher elevation black teas tend to have a little bit more green in their oxidation. Like they're a little, not so dark black. But I'm just rolling off. Steven gave me some curveballs. Again, those are both teas I've had like one time. And never here. Never in like my tea spot. So the Dongding black we've had one time while we were on the road in Taiwan. With, you know, someone else brewing it. I've never brewed it myself before, using different water, using different teaware. I am pretty happy that our water makes that tea taste so much better. And then this tea here I've tried just one time, you know, to see if it was any good, and I apparently didn't remember it. So it's pretty close. It definitely, you know, it's not a like Fujian or Guangdong black tea, so I'm glad that we at least didn't have the region wrong. But the country's right. The general area is kind of right. But yeah, I'm sad. Steven, wow, you made it very difficult for me today. But I think it's good to do these kinds of practice runs to see just how similar, you know, some really, really almost unmistakable simi teas might be. I thought Guangdong for the Dongding black, and then I thought Yunnan for the Guangxi black. And like Shiloh says, terroir can change drastically even in adjacent geographic areas, which is why like Linsang pu'er and Xishuangbanna pu'er and Sema pu'er, they're all so different, let alone being in like a different area of the country. It is next door to Yunnan, but I've never been to Guangxi. And I think this is the only Guangxi black tea I've ever had. So I'm not mad, but I'm not happy. Practice is good though, I think. I hope that you guys had fun with our tea practice today. I did. I definitely did. I guess my lesson is to trust myself when I think something tastes like Taiwan, which I think has always happened before.
What water do you use?
Yeah, Tifian says, what water do you use? We use our water that we formulate here at home. It's the kind of like jar in the back there. It's RO water with our water formula, which we will be releasing very, very soon, so you can make it at home yourself. It's excellent. It makes teas taste amazing. And it's really important when you're blind tasting that you don't doubt your water either, because if you're using a Brita filter pitcher, and then let's say your filter is a little bit, you know, towards the end of its life, and it's not filtering as well, your water will change and your tea will change. So what's good about this is that even if I didn't get the teas right, I know that it's just me who has to improve and not my water, not my brewing style, not my teaware. It's just you and the tea, which is really, really good. You can strip it down to everything, so I can't blame anything else, but just needed to have more practice and tasting the teas that we don't usually taste. So that was fun. I had fun. Yeah. I wish you gave me the Jinchibari first, but then I would have lost anyway, because there's no way I was going to know that this is Guangxi. But thanks for joining us today. This has been really, really fun. We'll see you guys next week on Saturday. I think we're doing cold brew with sparkling water next Saturday. So join us, please. It's going to be super fun. yeah, we'll see you guys on Discord, on the Tea Curious Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful Saturday wherever you guys might be. Evening, morning, night. Yeah, enjoy. Thank you. Bye.